Please open your Bible to Job chapter 1. The word integrity is most often used to describe unswerving devotion to righteousness. Satan was the first integrity breaker, and he asserts that you serve God only when it is convenient, and that you will break your integrity under trial. The first couple, Adam and Eve, gave in to Satan and broke their integrity to God. Each of us must answer the question, will I maintain my integrity to God despite persecution or personal hardship? Let us listen in as the righteous man Job comes face to face with a dramatic challenge to his integrity. To help us visualize the scenes, some sound effects and extra dialogue have been added to these Bible passages. We take up the reading at Job chapter 1, verse 1.
There happened to be a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And that man proved to be blameless and upright and fearing God and turning aside from bad. And 7 sons and 3 daughters came to be born to him. And his livestock got to be 7,000 sheep, and 3,000 camels, and 500 spans of cattle, and 500 she-asses, along with a very large body of servants. And that man came to be the greatest of all the Orientals. And his sons went and held a banquet at the house of each one on his own day. And they sent and invited their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them.
Welcome, my sister. The banquet has already begun. Please make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
Late again, Leah? Before you sit down, pass me the meat, please, and the wine.
You, my brother, have the biggest appetite of anyone I know.
And it would occur that when the banquet days had gone round the circuit, Job would send and sanctify them. And he got up early in the morning and offered up burnt sacrifices according to the number of all of them, for, said Job,
maybe my sons have sinned and have cursed God in their heart.
That is the way Job would do always. Now it came to be the day when the sons of the true God entered to take their station before Jehovah, and even Satan proceeded to enter right among them. Then Jehovah said to Satan,
Where do you come from?
At that Satan answered Jehovah and said,
From roving about in the earth, and from walking about in it.
And Jehovah went on to say to Satan,
Have you set your heart upon my servant Job, that there is no one like him in the earth, a man blameless and upright, fearing God and turning aside from bad?
At that Satan answered Jehovah and said,
Is it for nothing that Job has feared God? Have not you yourself put up a hedge about him, and about his house, and about everything that he has all around? The work of his hands you have blessed, and his livestock itself has spread abroad in the earth. But for a change, thrust out your hand, please, and touch everything he has, and see whether he will not curse you to your very face.
Accordingly, Jehovah said to Satan,
Look, everything that he has is in your hand. Only against him himself do not thrust out your hand.
So Satan went out away from the person of Jehovah. Now it came to be the day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in the house of their brother the firstborn. And there came a messenger to Job, and he proceeded to say,
Excuse me, my lord. The cattle themselves happened to be plowing, and the she-asses were grazing at the side of them, when the Sabaeans came making a raid and taking them. And the attendants they struck down with the edge of the sword. And I got to escape, only I, by myself, to tell you.
While this one was yet speaking, that one came and proceeded to say,
My lord, the very fire of God fell from the heavens and went blazing among the sheep and the attendants and eating them up. And I got to escape, only I by myself, to tell you.
While that one was yet speaking, another one came and proceeded to say,
The Chaldeans made up 3 bands and went dashing against the camels and taking them. And the attendants, they struck down with the edge of the sword. And I got to escape, only I by myself, to tell you.
While this other one was yet speaking, still another one came and proceeded to say,
"Oh, my master, your sons and your daughters were eating and drinking wine in the house of their brother the firstborn. And look, there came a great wind from the region of the wilderness, and it went striking the 4 corners of the house, so that it fell upon the young people, and they died. And I got to escape, only I by myself, to tell you."
And Job proceeded to get up and rip his sleeveless coat apart and cut the hair off his head and fall to the earth and bow down and say,
Naked I came out of my mother's belly, and naked shall I return there. Jehovah himself has given, and Jehovah himself has taken away. Let the name of Jehovah continue to be blessed.
In all this, Job did not sin or ascribe anything improper to God. Afterward it came to be the day when the sons of the true God entered to take their station before Jehovah. And Satan also proceeded to enter right among them to take his station before Jehovah. Then Jehovah said to Satan,
Just where do you come from?
At that Satan answered Jehovah and said,
From roving about in the earth, and from walking about in it.
And Jehovah went on to say to Satan,
Have you set your heart upon my servant Job? That there is no one like him in the earth, a man blameless and upright, fearing God and turning aside from bad. Even yet he is holding fast his integrity. Although you incite me against him to swallow him up without cause.
But Satan answered Jehovah and said,
Skin in behalf of skin, and everything that a man has he will give in behalf of his soul. For a change, thrust out your hand, please, and touch as far as his bone and his flesh, and see whether he will not curse you to your very face.
Accordingly, Jehovah said to Satan,
There he is in your hand. Only watch out for his soul itself.
So Satan went out away from the person of Jehovah, and struck Job with a malignant boil from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. And he proceeded to take for himself a fragment of earthenware with which to scrape himself, and he was sitting in among the ashes.
Please bring me some water.
Oh, my husband, look at you.
Finally his wife said to him,
Are you yet holding fast your integrity? Curse God and die.
But he said to her,
As one of the senseless women speaks, you speak also. Shall we accept merely what is good from the true God, and not accept also what is bad?
In all this, Job did not sin with his lips.
Did you sense Job's anguish as he heard about one calamity after another? Then he was struck with a loathsome disease, causing pain and a sense of helplessness. Job mistakenly felt that God was causing him misery, yet he refused to turn his back on Jehovah. We too can choose a course of integrity. While not all tragedies come directly from Satan, we can be sure that he will try to exploit our adversities in order to cause us to give up on God. Did you notice that Jehovah was very much interested in Job, even lovingly referring to him as blameless and upright, and noting that he was holding fast his integrity? Jehovah is interested in your course of integrity as well. Now, Please open to the Bible book of Daniel, chapter 6.